Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, Eid Mubarak. Taqabbal Allahu minna wa minkum salih al-a'mal. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept each and every single one of your acts of worship during the blessed month of Ramadan that has just passed us. Now, as we do before we dive into the business side of things with this podcast, we like to ground ourselves with a reminder, reminding ourselves of Allah Azza wa Jal and His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the Day of Judgment. So I want to share something with you, inshallah ta'ala, that I think is an appropriate reminder to mention at this time before we start diving into the whole money side of things. So when Allah Azza wa Jal talks to us about fasting being obligatory in the month of Ramadan, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, Allah Azza wa Jal then tells us when we see the moon, we then fast, right? At the end of that ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal, He tells us why He prescribed this month of Ramadan for us to fast and worship Him in this way. Allah says, لِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. It's so that you can say the takbir. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So you can say the takbir, which means the greatness of Allah. You can proclaim through your mouth and in your heart the greatness of Allah. لِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. Right? You proclaim to Allah, you proclaim about Allah, His greatness. He's greater than your money, your businesses, your rizq. He's greater than the nations that are around that exist, the concerns, the fears that we have, the geopolitical circumstance. Allah is greater than all of that, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the reason why you mention His greatness, عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, you glorify His praises because He has made you upon guidance. Now, I really want you to not lose me here, right? I want to make sure the panel follows me in regards to this point as well. Allah Azza wa Jal didn't say, لِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ لِمَا هَدَاكُمْ. He didn't say glorify and magnify Allah's praises because, right? Or for the reason that He guided you. No, upon the fact that He guided you. The word ala means, as you would know, Muhammad, it means to be above something, right?
Yes.
So why did Allah Azza wa Jal say we're above guidance? That we're praising Allah because He's made us above guidance. Imam Ibn Mansur said something powerful. He said, in the month of Ramadan, you've done so many good deeds. You've done so many acts of worship. Your iman has gone so high and your status with Allah has gone so high that Allah is saying you're up. You're high in guidance right now. وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. You're going to praise Allah and glorify Him because He gave you a month to earn so many good deeds through the fasting, through the tarawih, through the qiyamul layl, through the dua, through the sadaqah, the charity, through all of the good deeds that you did, that you are high now. So then don't fall. Then don't fall by doing sins, right? Because Allah has made you high. He's lifted you up. And because He made you high and you could have never got there if it wasn't for Him, you say Allahu Akbar. You say Allahu Akbar, right? You glorify Him, but He's higher. He's the greatest. He's the highest. You're good. You're great now. Allah made you great, but He's greater still. There's still a long way to go. So this is a very powerful point, very subtle thing that is beautiful in the Quran that indicates, okay, now Allah has lifted you, brother. Don't fall. Don't fall through missing your salah, doing sins, bad language, backbiting, dishonesty, being bad to your parents, disobeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't do that. Then Allah says, وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that you can be grateful. So if Allah has lifted you so high and He's made you so high, now show Him gratitude. Now be grateful to Allah, right? Now here's the thing, right? We show gratitude to Allah for everything material, but very seldom do we actually thank Him for the spiritual. Like if Allah gave you the ability to get ranks and statuses in Jannah, thank Him for that. Here's the secret to gratitude. Allah Azza wa Jalla will increase you. Allah will give you more. Every time you thank Him, He increases you, subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So this is the day of Eid. It's a chance to really be happy. And why are we happy? We're happy because of the good deeds that we've done. This is another thing, right? You see, a lot of Muslims, when they celebrate Eid, they celebrate it the way that the non-Muslims celebrate their material holidays, right? Religious holidays are actually material, right? They just become like symbols of capitalism now. But like, for example, when you celebrate Christmas, why do you celebrate? Like, there's no spiritual element there, right? Even atheists will celebrate Christmas. You give gifts, which is a day to be happy. Happy for what? Happy for what? We're happy because we did good deeds. That's why we're happy. We're happy because we did good deeds, right? That's why you enjoy. You enjoy the day of Eid because Allah allowed you to do good deeds that are now going to save you from the hellfire in the next life and give you paradise in this life. And by the way, there's also material benefits and gains that come on the back of the good deeds that you did in this life as well, right? Fasting was prescribed for you to attain this thing called taqwa, which I went through in quite a lot of detail in one of the previous episodes, right? And basically taqwa is the thing inside of your heart that allows you to do more good and stay away from bad. Allah says, if you do this thing, I'm going to give you rizq from places that you never ever imagined. So now that you've done Ramadan, expect rizq to come. Expect rizq to flow if you've done Ramadan properly. Now, if you don't start to see a rizq coming from different angles, different doors opening, different avenues, different opportunities, then maybe you dropped. Maybe you didn't maintain the high that Allah Azza wa Jal placed you, right? You dropped. Remember, in the battle of Badr, Allah Azza wa Jal promised the Sahaba, right? He promised. He made a promise. When udtum udna, if these mushrikeen come back to fight you, I'm going to come back and destroy them on your behalf, right? In the battle of Uhud, they lost the battle. But actually, they were winning at the beginning. They were winning at the beginning, but when they disobeyed Allah, they lost. That's why Allah said, وَإِذْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِذْ تَحُسُّونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ حَتَّى إِذَا فَشِلْتُمْ. Allah fulfilled His promise. At the beginning, you were winning, but then you messed up. And when you did, Allah Azza wa Jalla made you lose. So it could be that literally that deal is around the corner. That big break is around the corner. It's there. You attain taqwa in the month of Ramadan. It's coming. And you are high. But then, as it was coming, you slipped. By the way, we're all going to slip. You've got to make tawbah and get up quickly, right? Slip means I slip, I get up. You don't want to crash land. That's the problem. You don't want to stay on the ground. So I share this with you so that we can say Allahu Akbar from our heart, from our tongues, and really mean it. And so we can thank Allah Azza wa Jalla for what He's allowed us to attain in the next life, but also benefits us in this life. And the last thing I'll leave you with is be scared. Be very scared. Be scared. Why? That Allah Azza wa Jalla may reject your actions. You know, there's an ayah in the Quran when Allah Azza wa Jalla said, those who come with what they come with, وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ, their hearts are in a state of fear. So Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, are these people that done zina? Are they the ones who stole? Like, why are they scared on the Day of Judgment? Why are they scared? Why are they in a, I don't know if it's on the Day of Judgment, but why are they in a state of fear? And the Prophet said, no, Aisha, these are the guys who prayed and they fasted. But they're scared that Allah won't accept their actions. That's why the Sahaba for 6 months after Ramadan would say, Allahumma taqabbal, oh Allah, accept it from us. That's why on the day of Eid we say, Eid Mubarak, taqabbal Allahu minna wa minkum salih al-a'mal. Allah accept from us and you our good deeds. So ask Allah to accept. If Allah accepts from you, brother, Allahu Akbar, right? Allahu Akbar. And what's a sign that Allah has accepted your good deeds? Do you know what it is? It's that He allows you to do more good deeds. A sign of Allah accepting your good deeds is that He allowed you to do more good deeds. But when you sin, a sin brings about more sins. Good deeds bring about more good deeds. They actually give birth. They give birth. They have children. They have offspring. They have lineage, right? And good deeds have a lineage. It's more good deeds. And bad deeds have a lineage, which is sin. So with that said, there's a lot to talk about.
That's a very good Sheikh, mashallah.
Barakallah feek.
Very good, very good.
So,
Very good reminder.
Barakallah feek, barakallah feek. So there's a lot we have to discuss today, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Before we dive into it, guys, as you know, we have a network of high net worth entrepreneurs and investors. We also do take in high net worth guys that are senior corporate executives, alhamdulillah. Guys from Fortune 100 companies, Apple. A guy from Apple joined us recently. You've met him, yeah?
Oh, I have not met him. Very good brother, mashallah.
You met him?
No, I mean, he's in Japan, right?
He's in Japan, yeah.
Not really. Well, we spoke.
You spoke, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come inshallah, it's coming in a couple of days. Point being is that, alhamdulillah, man, things are going good. So if you're interested in joining, you know, you can apply at the link below. But with that said, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about. So the first thing that we actually discuss is what is the one central thing that this entire conflict boils down to, right? This whole issue between US, Israel, Iran, and all the other parties that are involved. Dalio, who, if anyone knows who he is a guy who's got the biggest hedge fund, you know, investment fund in the world. And he's a man worth 50 billion. He's wrote books on the rise and fall of nations and studying patterns. He hasn't spoken for 17 days. Everyone's been waiting for his analysis to come out, and he's actually mentioned what he believes is the central thing that's going to basically dictate which way this thing goes. And to be honest, it was very, very interesting, very intriguing, the angle that he took. And we ended up having a pretty big conversation around that. And also what you saw, what you will see, inshallah, is a lot of strategic thinking that happened. Again, we're not political pundits and we don't like to put ourselves in positions that we're not, but we are CEOs, we are leaders, we are businessmen, we are strategists. So sometimes it helps to kind of have these thought experiments where you ask questions, what happens if this happens, what happens if that happens? And I think you'll find it's a pretty high level discussion. And if nothing else, you will learn how to think, if nothing else. A conversation we had after, but we're actually going to bring it forward, and it's the first thing that you're going to see, is around this age-old saying, which is your network is your net worth. Is it true? If so, in which situation, circumstances it's true? There's a lot of time wasting that happens in networking. There's a lot of sleaziness that happens. How do you actually enter inside of communities where people are going to actually help you achieve the goals and the objectives that you want to achieve? A lot of things people don't give a lot of thought to is, what is the outcome I'm looking for from networking? And there are 6. We discuss what these 6 outcomes are. And then based on what outcome you're looking for, then your networking strategy or your community building strategy will follow accordingly. So we've got master networkers here, or not networkers, sorry, but guys with masterful networks, I should say.
Community builders.
Yeah. They didn't do it through sleaziness, right? Every time I speak with him, he's like, yeah, I'm with the head of the Secret Service of this government. I'm the head of the the foreign minister of that government. He's my boy. No, literally, no exaggeration. Who was it yesterday? It was like, yeah, that guy, I know him. Like, Allahumma barik, you know? A guy who used to sell...
Exposing us.
Yeah, a guy who sells soda. Allahumma barik, yeah. Has got access to those networks. And he didn't do it by being sleazy, attending these networking events, shaving off his beard and dancing with some gal. He's got his beard. He's a hafiz of Quran, but he has these networks. Allah barik. How? That secret source is what we're going to hopefully unveil and uncover in today's discussion. With that said, let's go. If you're like any decent Muslim out there, I know you wish you understood the Arabic language so that you could connect with the Quran. Do you know how long it took me to learn the Arabic language? It took me like 7-8 years. And you know why I'm kind of upset about that? It's because I've recently come across Ijada Institute, which has students speaking Arabic in 6 months. In 6 months. So I was mind blown. So I decided to connect with the founder and the teacher, Sheikh Ebrahim, and I asked him, how did you do it? And he built a system, Allahumma barik, that focuses specifically on teaching those that are non-Arab speakers living in the 21st century, i.e. our context, how to study Arabic. Most of the programs that you're going to see out there in the books were not even designed for Westerners or non-Arab speakers. And if they were designed back in the 90s and the early 2000s. This is a program that's mind-blowing. I actually listened to one of the calls that they have with the students. They log on and they talk to each other and they talk about their day. And I was like, wow, these brothers and sisters, of course, there's no free mixing. They are talking in fluent Arabic in 6 months. Now, of course, you have to put the hard work and you have to do the work, but you can just focus, just doing a small amount every single week. And within 6 to 12 months, inshallah ta'ala, you're going to be proficient. And then there's going to be that moment where you're going to be in salah, you're going to be reciting Quran, and it's going to come and you're not expecting, I promise, where you're going to relate to an ayah and it's going to touch your heart in a way, it's going to bring tears to your eyes. And that's going to be the beginning of your relationship with the speech of Allah. So if you want an Arabic Studies Institute that, inshallah ta'ala, works as far as I'm concerned, and within 6 to 12 months you want to be speaking Arabic and then, inshallah, understanding the speech of Allah, then apply to join Ijada Institute at the link below, inshallah ta'ala. So networking obviously is a huge part. Well, building relationships.
Yeah.
I think it would be foolish for anyone to deny. Building strong leverage relationships is a necessary part of business,
Of course.
right? Some people call it networking, some people call it community, whatever.
Outreach, whatever you want to call
whatever
it.
you want to call it. Business development.
BizDev is a
Right.
common term. I like BizDev.
But it's relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your take on it? Networking, for lack of a better term. And what are your advices and thoughts for people, especially in this
I
context?
think many things we could all jump back and forth. Feel free to cut me in, guys. Alhamdulillah, I have benefited a lot from relationships like we all have. And one thing I feel like is you can have a cake. You can eat a cake in 3 ways. You can buy the cake and eat it, or you basically try to figure out all the ways to make the cake. You buy the ingredients, you buy the recipes, you watch some YouTube videos, you trial and error. You make a horrible cake first, then you make a good cake, then a better one, then the best one, then you eat it and enjoy it, right? The third way to have a cake is you get invited to a party. There's cake being served. Everyone is eating cake, and they pass the plate to you, and you eat with them, right? So how does it relate to networking?
A lot of cake talk, bro.
Yeah, how does it relate to...
And I'm hungry.
How does it relate to networking, relationships, and business? So the first way is, and all 3 are important. So the first way is basically you buy the cake, meaning in business terms, you hire the best executive, right? You hire the best consultant. You hire the best in the league, and khalas, you don't have to know anything about it. You just enjoy the reward, the fruit. It's taken care of, right? But not everybody's in that position in life at the beginning, right? So that comes the next one. The next one is, what do? You try to figure out on your own. That's most of us how we started as entrepreneurs. You are the accountant, you're the payroll, you're the HR, you're the presenter, you're the sales guy, you're the closer, you're everything. You try to figure out. Lots of trials and errors. Majority people don't even make the cake at the end. They quit. You know, as we know the data of entrepreneurship and everything, majority quit, and for good reasons, because if everybody, the world would be different. But the few that succeed after many trials and errors, you know, many hardship, many betrayals, many relationships lost, many sleepless nights, many days of you don't know next Friday how you're going to pay the payroll, forget about feeding yourself and your family, right? But some people make it and make the cake and eat it and enjoy it. The third way, and all of them are important and needs to be done, is the relationship, the networking way, where you need to eat the cake, you build relationships, then you get invited to a party where everybody's talking about the things that you need. You learn from this guy. So you just compressed your time frame by 5 years. You just saved, because he said one thing, and it has happened in my life, he literally saved $80,000, 10,000 dirham, 50,000 dirham.
3 years worth of research.
3 years worth of research. Like so many things, 100%. Just because you're in that place where everybody's eating the cake, just as a metaphor, right, Sheikh? All 3 are important. Sometimes you do all 3 simultaneously, sometimes different stages of life, different stages of business, but especially in the beginning, and this is a thing that's forever done, but you just increase the levels. You go to different rooms. You always, like we talk about, we're always trying to go to the room that we have not entered yet. You know, and see what those guys are talking about, right? There's always in our life, and for us, it's all different levels. Anybody watching is different levels of rooms, right? If you're just starting out as a salesperson, you want to get into the room of sales leaders. How do they lead team of 100 salespeople? If you're in the room of sales leader, you want to get to the executive level. How do you actually run a business, and so forth and so on, right? But ultimately, I think it's key in investing your resource, your time, energy, money, especially in the beginning. And then as you go along, finding those rooms that cater to your needs, so you're not wasting time in rooms that are like, okay, you're done, you have graduated. But it's, I wouldn't be where I'm today, alhamdulillah, and inshallah, a long journey to go without networking and building relationships.
Can I challenge the general assumption? And my opinion is going to be very unorthodox.
Go for it.
I think a 95% of networking is a complete waste of time. Especially nowadays. And that was not the case before, but I'm saying in this current age. Why? Because if you, right now, exactly what Brother Sam said, but with a different take. Right now, you have so much access to knowledge that you didn't have back in the day. So now you don't need the actual people. You can get a lot of it from ChatGPT. You can get a lot of it online stuff. So you could actually teach yourself, which allows you to perfect your craft, whatever your craft is. Which is your business model, whatever. And usually, and this is not me saying it, Naval Ravikant said it in his book, in Almanac, the Almanac Naval Ravikant, he said that people naturally gravitate towards you when you're a master when you're a craftsman, you're a master craftsman, when you're so good at what you do, they naturally gravitate towards you through various social settings, business meetings, etc., because they see how good you are at what you do. The opposite is not true. You cannot network no matter how hard you try, no matter how much time and energy you spend. You will never be able to network and gain people's trust if they do not feel like you
are a competent person. You have something to give.
No matter how much of a smooth talker you are, it's the opposite is not true. So you have to be really, really, really good at what you do, and then people will come to you. And I would say the only networking that would really, really, really be important, and I would say that people need to double down on, is just to finding a mentor or a good business partner. One of those two are the only things that you actually need to network to get. Because a good business partner, like Brother Sam said, will be that shoulder you lean on when
steer the ship with you.
It will steer the ship with you when you want someone to give you another opinion, or when you down on something and you need someone to kind of like challenge you, or a mentor, because that guy will always be like 3, 5, 10, 15 years ahead of you. So he kind of has like that timeline advantage over you. But wallahi, and I say this because I used to be a victim of this, and I used to network a lot, and I stopped doing that. I reduced it by almost 80-90%. I only network when I need to. 95% is a waste of time. Focus on your craft, become excellent at what you do. People will come to you, and I've seen it over and over again, even in myself. I see guys that are at my level that are networking 10 times more, and I get to the same people that they get to with 1/10 of the effort that they do, because I perfected my craft. So I sit down and I actually like really make sure that I understand in and out, because when that conversation comes up and you sit with someone that's like influential, a good investor, whoever it is, they are going to be a lot more convinced when you talk to them with proper sense and proper knowledge, as opposed to someone else that's just spending his time socializing.
Barakallahu fi. I appreciate that take.
Very balanced take, and I somewhat agree with that today there's this whole culture of networking for the sake of networking, and I agree with this is a pure waste of time.
Yeah.
Also, you see a lot of people networking, but sort of leeching.
Oh man,
trying to
I hate it.
take value,
Hate it.
give value, and you will get value.
Yes.
Your point of a mentor, I quite agree with that as well. If you want to go further, so learn from, I don't know who said it, it's not my quote. Learn from the mistakes of others, because life's too short to make them all yourself.
Yep.
That's true.
So get a good mentor, or, honestly, Sheikh, the Shura system that we have within.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
That is, I think, an excellent, because it has a skill set, it has knowledge, but it also has accountability. So you mentioned ChatGPT. Yes, you can educate yourself in ChatGPT, but sometimes a lot of us need that guy to say, hey, have you done this? And at any level, because there's something you got to do, but for you, it's important, but you got other priorities in life.
It's like your private board of advisors.
Yeah, and you just have someone, checking up on you, and I don't want this guy phoning me again for the same thing. I'm just gonna damn do it now.
Right.
And sometimes that's all the push you need. So mentor, give value, and be in the rooms. So you speak about rooms, yes. So don't just socialize. I mean, if you're going with a particular objective or outcome, yes, it will benefit you. But human relationships are very important. Before I talk to go to human relationships, you use the example of the cake. I'll use the example of the rain. So if you go to a room that's raining dough or money,
you get something.
Some of it will end up in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
And then regarding human relationships, exceptionally important, because forget the algorithm, forget the funnels. Most of your guys are in online or digital or brick and mortar. Yeah,
It's very mixed. Very mixed.
So regardless, but today the curse of the digital age has put in a set of tools and bots, etc., to do certain functions. But business is still conducted person to person. I'll buy from you
Because I like you.
because I like you.
That's it.
100%.
Finish.
Simple as that.
Forget everything
But
else.
I will not like you if you're not honest and good at what you do.
Mm.
That's
No,
it.
100%. No. The price has to be right. The product has to be good. All of that, has to. You can't be the clown of the room or the entertainer and be selling a crappy product. No, we're not.
Yeah,
saying.
because
Have a
there's
good,
this quote that I keep hearing: your network is your network. Which, okay, it's fine, but at the end of the day, your network is never going to be your net worth if you are not in integrating in that group naturally.
Yeah,
it has to be
But
organic.
who's saying that? The guy that rented the villa and the Lambo, right?
Yeah,
So the so-called gurus of today are
yeah.
pushing that narrative.
So to bring it back to Naval Ravikant, right?
Mm.
So in the same book that you referenced earlier, he talks about leverage, right?
Mm.
Leverage, the term a lot of people use, but I think very seldom understand. So think about it, right? A lever is something that allows you to move something that's very heavy with very little ease,
Mm-hmm.
right?
With little effort.
With little effort, sorry.
Yeah,
So for example, a car is very heavy,
yeah.
but I can move it very fast by pushing the lever, which is
Right,
the
yeah.
pedal, right? So if you think of like those Coca-Cola bottles, it's very hard to open, right? But then you have the bottle opener. That's a lever,
Mm.
right? Because I can just, with a flick of a wrist, I can
Yep.
open it as opposed to like clawing at it. I'm going to rip my skin. I'm not going to open it. So a lever is something that allows you to move massive amounts of volume fast with very little effort. So he said, when it comes to business, the primary levers are, number one, capital, right? You don't need a network if you've got people. If you've got people, sorry, if you've got money.
Yeah.
If you're, what's his name? Warren Buffett sitting on 400 billion,
Yeah, cash.
100 billion cash.
People come to him.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's not just that. Think about it, right? So another thing I should have said before is that, and I'm going to answer it a bit later, but the question is important to consider, is that networking or leverage is a means to an end,
Right.
right? So what's it for? Depending on what the
Exactly.
outcome is, will actually, dictate some of these things. So point being is that you don't need necessarily a network if you've got capital, right? Because that money will do a lot of things for you. It will move things
That's
for
a
you.
leverage for you.
It's leverage for you, right? The other thing is technology, right? For example, if you have, if you're absolutely a killer when it comes to, AI and automations and bots and this and that and agents, there's a lot of stuff you can do and you don't need people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So technology allows you to move a lot of things and get a lot of things done very fast, right? Now, the third thing he mentions is people.
Yeah.
Right? It's people. So this could be your labor force, right? If it's a brick and mortar type of business, construction, right? It's just people. So you need
Workforce,
human capital. Likewise, when it comes to, building relationships, like you not just your workforce, but just people just generally around you, right? So people is a form of leverage. So the word network, I think, is like a bit of a sleazy word, right? It's funny because I use it, right? I say that we have a network. It's because it's the simplest thing to understand, right? If you're trying to make the point, people understand what a network is. But I much rather prefer the word community, right? A community, because a community sounds more organic, right? Now, a community of people that are a source of leverage for you, right? Now, why would you come to these people? There's 6 potential outcomes, right? There's 6 potential outcomes. Like I said, obviously running the cave network, I have this data. So people either join because they want access to capital. They want someone that's going to give them money. Someone's going to invest. They're going to do a joint venture.
To finance their idea.
Exactly, right? Or not just to finance their idea, but to expand their idea, to grow their idea, to scale their idea, right? The second thing is you're looking for deals, B2B partnerships, contracts. I'm looking for partnerships. I want to make money with you, right? You buy from me. I buy from you. The third thing is insights. Now that's the knowledge. That's the mental thing that you talked about. That's the shura, right? Which is guys are going to tell me, like for example, you mentioned Wa'il told you to do your KYC through this company or that company.
Yep.
And that decision saved you how much?
At least 3 months of time, Sheikh. Now, I don't know how much my time is worth, but...
Right? and a
Naval Ravikant actually says you should give your hour an hour rate.
an hourly rate. And he says you should start at 5K.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
lower
that's
than
true.
that. Not lower than that. He said that's your rubric.
Imagine.
Above that. So point being is that people are looking for what? Insights, right?
Yeah.
The next thing is they're looking to be upskilled, right? They want to be around people that are going to make them be better. That's where accountability comes in. That's where when I see other guys, I perform better. I become a better version of myself.
That's happening with the Qiyam, Sheikh. Honestly, like I see young guys, like I want to beat them.
Yeah.
See 21-year-old brothers saying, I'm going for 8-hour Qiyam. I'm like, bro.
And that's when you're the average of the 5 people
Yes,
that
yeah.
are around you, right? Another reason people do it is for brotherhood. I'm looking for friends. I'm looking for friends.
Yeah.
I'm looking for companions, right? But thing is, those guys don't understand me. Those guys judge me. I want to be around people that do
We're
business.
aligned.
Yeah, we're aligned,
Yeah.
right? The next reason is access. You can open doors for me, right? You can help me sit at this table. You can help me sit at that table.
That's the one I like.
right? Right, it's a big one, right? And then the last one is status, which I don't think our network has, but other networks have it, right? Status, right?
status, okay.
It's like the moment if someone says to you, "Hey, I'm in Tiger 21," okay, straight away I know you're doing at least 20 million a year. Hard to get in, it's vetted.
Which one, sorry?
Tiger 21, right? If someone says to you, I'm in Wipe, and of course the cave is new. You know, we
Yes.
launched in September.
It will, inshallah,
It'll
go
be the
far
same
beyond
thing,
that,
right?
inshallah.
It'll be the same thing, inshallah. So status is a big one. Now, here's the thing, right? I think the concern a lot of people have around networks is that it wastes a lot of time because I'm nurturing this guy. I have an outcome I want, right? If it's a commercial outcome, I want access, I want knowledge, I want a deal, I want a partnership, I want money, right? Unless I'm looking for friends, right?
Yeah.
I need it as a commercial outcome. Thing is, this guy, firstly, I have to not look opportunistic. So I have to notion the lead, right? I have to take it for dinner. He has to take me for dinner. We both want to ask, but we're not going to ask. And then by the time we ask, you might be a fraud,
Yeah.
right? Which is why,
So all that has to be done.
which is why there's been a spike in recent years or a demand rather for paid networks, right? Paid networks,
Yeah.
which we're not the first, but we're the first that has the kind of culture and values that we have. But many existed before us: EO, Tiger 21, YPO, Hampton, and these guys charge you a lot of money, but they vet, and the whole idea is that there's trust inside of this network, right? We offboarded a guy the other day, right?
Yes.
And one of the reasons why we did that is because there's a standard that we're trying to maintain inside the network.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we let you in, we did the vetting initially, but then we realized in hindsight, probably you weren't as qualified as we thought that you were going to be. So we now take you off respectfully and give you your money back. But point being is that
That's what makes it different.
that's what makes it different, right? And the whole, I remember something that you said to me, which by the way, we've already started to implement, which is to shave off the bottom 10%. Right, every time, just the lower 10% in terms of quality.
Yeah.
If you got in this year, you won't get in next year, and that constantly keeps upping the threshold. And here's the thing, right? And there's a
Shaving it off based on what?
their caliber,
Performance.
their caliber,
Okay.
their caliber, right? In terms of not just monetarily, but also culturally, right? Like how much of a culture fit they are.
Yeah, and like their
Basically,
input.
making it harder to get in, right?
Right.
Making it harder to get in. So now here's the thing, right? And this is where I'm going to anti-sell the cave, but as I want to be genuine. Fact of the matter is that if you want to be inside of a network where there is very little noise and very high signal, right? So low fluff, high, moves.
Impact.
Yeah, but go for the ones that charge you the most money. If I'm not mistaken, Tiger 21 charges 30,000 USD.
Yep.
Right, YPO starts at a minimum 15,000 USD annually, right? Ours is 10K annually. That's how much we charge. So
And those guys don't have Deen.
they don't have Deen, but I'm
just saying.
but I'm just letting those guys are joining us. Alhamdulillah,
Yeah,
right? We had guys leave
top
EO.
ones from
We have a guy who is a senior member of one of the biggest YPO chapters in the world.
Yep.
Inshallah ta'ala is joining us. So my point is that, but I'm just letting you know, right? That the more money you pay, the better quality the room. Does that make sense?
Because the admin can do the work for you.
You can do the work for you, 100%. 100%.
It's just pure math.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
You've got to first work out out of those 6 things, what do you want? And then go find a network that has it and pay them. But just make sure that network obviously delivers, I think that's...
You're just talking
So,
to
okay,
a...
Sheikh, so to clarify, so this is a different conversation. 100% I agree with this. I mean, I'm a member of the network and I find value in it. I assumed your question was networking. going to different events every other day, etc.
That was my question.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're just solving the problem now. As in, you're
Right, okay.
absolutely right.
Yeah, so how not to waste time?
Okay.
I
So
don't-
this is the solution on.
Yes.
I don't know if I should say this on camera. Maybe you guys will cut it later. But one of the things I hate the most about these events is this unnecessary small talk. Like this unnecessary small talk that you have to like start every time you meet someone, especially if there's like nothing in common. Such a waste of time, and it's it's very draining.
So let me ask you a
Very, very
question.
draining.
But does that happen at cave events?
No, never. Because already everyone is vetted, and already you're all on the same. You're at the same level. There's a lot of synergy. So you've done 80% of the work for us.
And I would say it's one extra thing. Everyone understands why we're here, right?
Exactly.
Plus, Sheikh, I'll add on to that. It's more than that. For me, I'm even more. I have even more less tolerance.
Bro, this guy sometimes drops from meetings, or he's like, "You take the meeting, please." I don't.
I'm out.
Bro, he does the
Exactly.
same. He does the same to us.
Oh, he doesn't use it to. Well, it's like the guy's like 5 minutes late. He's like, "Listen, I have some other stuff to do. You take the." And I'm like, bro, he threw me under the bus. I'm like, I don't like this either.
No, bro, 5 minutes late.
Bro, one
So what do you want me to
time
do?
he set a meeting up. I can't remember which one it was. And then he backed out of it. I was like, this
He
is
backed
your
out the meeting
brother.
the other day because the guy was 7 minutes late and he threw me under the bus. I'm like, bro, I don't want to have to carry the conversation by myself.
He's 7 minutes late. He wants something from us. What do you want me to do? Like, literally, we have better things to do. But anyways, sorry.
Sounds so bad, but it's...
SubhanAllah. That's what I was just going to say. It could be my weakness. I have like much less threshold or patience or tolerance when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So for me, even after all this vetting, which is done, for me, what I personally like the best, it's going beyond that, where cave admins personally make the introduction. Like, bro, Sam, this is what you're looking for. This is what you need.
Yeah.
We have 110 members now. So even though all those are vetted, great brothers, I don't know what to do now. Okay, I'm in a room with 110 brothers. All, mashallah, vetted, great. Now I have to talk to all 110 to find out, like, okay,
Impossible.
how can I help you?
Very
What can
exhausting.
I add value? But now, this is the thing, the feature I love the most. I'm being introduced to brothers like, hey, brother Sam, this brother, maybe inshallah you can help with this XYZ. Can you? Yes. Okay, I'm adding you to the group. Boom, done. It's already, that brother already knows what I can help with.
Yep.
I already know what the brother is looking for. And I already agreed to help because I can help, inshallah. Vice versa. More so, like, okay, this is what we need. We're looking for lands. We're looking for JV. We're looking for people that are a little bit distressed right now. So you introduce the Emirati
Khalid.
Sheikh from Ajman.
Ajman.
Yes,
yeah.
the brother Mohamed is active talks with. He has
How's that
many
going?
land. Actually, the developer defaulted, Sheikh. We'll talk with you. We're doing our own feasibility first, and then if we
He doesn't do Ajman.
yeah, but we're doing our own feasibility. But the point being is, like, you introduced.
Liquidity.
Yeah, you introduced because you knew this is what we're looking for.
Yep.
Now imagine he's in the room with 120 brothers. We'll
Yeah.
never come to him, right?
100%.
So
100%.
that's
And he's been looking, by the way, for 4 years for someone to do a
to take
JV.
over his project. We don't know if it's going to happen or not
Yeah.
because our feasibility is very strict and
Yeah,
tight.
yeah,
but the
yeah.
fact that this is what we're
you can
looking
have
for,
those,
we have a conversation.
100%.
Right?
Can I add one more thing also? is
You
that-
say it nicely. Curated introductions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this
That's
this
what it
curated introduction is the exact cure to what I'm about to say
Issues,
now.
yeah.
Is when you, as a person, continuously network endlessly without a particular goal in mind. Slowly, you're gonna start to develop a desperate feeling that people will pick up on. And when people start feeling like you're getting, a bit desperate because you've just continuously been networking aimlessly, they're gonna start feeling that you get coming off too salesy, and then you get people like brother. There's a Sam
another
that can
pet peeve.
sniff it a mile away. He's like, that guy is too salesy. I don't like him. Immediate. Unfortunately, it's a reality. I'm like him, but not to his extent. He's like pro max. I'm like pro, And it is, because when people come off too salesy, it's not a nice feeling. And
The leech, Sheikh. The leech. We have no patience for the leech.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You're
that's
only
why,
here to take.
That's why my advice to any younger brothers is really do not focus on network. Just perfect your craft. Be a good person. Have
Very
a
good advice, Sheikh.
Have a good integrity,
Akhlaq, character.
akhlaq, adab. People will come to you. I promise you,
Very
people
good
will
advice.
come to you.
Especially for the younger brothers.
Yeah.
Someone came to you, Sam. Says, you know what? I noticed this about your business, and I'm actually good in this. I have this expertise.
Yeah.
And this, can I give you some input?
Love it,
what
Sheikh.
I'm seeing, and approach you that way. Thereafter, he says, you know, but by the way, I'm also struggling with this.
Love it, Sheikh.
Can
This is
you-
what exactly
you
happened with my
will-
LinkedIn now, Sheikh.
Okay.
So a brother from our network, Abu Nu, introduced me because he saw like he's like, brother, like you should be on LinkedIn. This is your place. Like YouTube is great, Instagram is great, but like I type Sam Amin LinkedIn, you're nowhere to be found. What are you doing? You need to be on LinkedIn. This is a young brother. He's not like, he does not have proven concept yet, but he's great. Like
Is he the one you hired?
Yeah,
Is he
Sheikh.
doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. So Abu Nu introduced me,
Allah
and you know
barik.
what
Abu
that
Turab,
brother said?
Abu Turab, Ali.
Abu Turab, yeah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, so Abu Turab, he said, look, brother, I'm sure you have walked around in the market. This is the market price for doing, but I'm going to do it for 1/4 or 1/5 of the price.
Allah barik.
But what I ask from you is mentorship in return because of the price difference. I'm like, bro,
Well,
this
you
is
know-
the young man that every young man should model.
You know
What
what?
is it?
Abu
And
Turab,
another young man introduced, Abu Nu.
I'm very proud of you. Now,
Abu
fact-
Turab got a plug, that's it.
yeah, I'm posting his service below.
Allahumma barik.
Yeah,
Allahu
yeah.
Akbar. There you go. Allahu Akbar.
Good stuff.
Very good brother. He's a very good brother.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, very good brother. Allah barik.
No, that approach.
Sheikh, this is how we
Yeah.
grew our business. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to the
Is he
people.
doing a good job?
Yes, Sheikh, alhamdulillah. Well, I don't want to say it on camera and like,
Allah barik.
he's doing okay job.
What did he say? As in, he's getting
No,
you leads.
okay is not
all the
good
time.
enough.
What's he doing? He's getting you leads. He's writing content for you. What's he doing?
So the ultimate target is leads,
Uh-huh.
of course. How do you do it?
Building authority.
Yeah, building authority, thought leadership, XYZ.
Is that Abu Turab? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Why, you
I
take
told
him
him like,
seriously?
Sheikh,
I need to look at him.
yeah, please, Sheikh. So I told him my requirement is I have zero time. I don't want to download LinkedIn app. I don't want to do anything. He's like,
It's just what
okay.
you do with Instagram, basically.
Exactly. He said, then can you send me a voice note every week of your thoughts? I signed up for that. Then I backed out of it a week
He did
later. I
not
was
tell
like,
me
bro,
he had that service.
I was like, I told Abu Turab, bro, even sending voice note is too much for me. I don't even want to send you voice note. Because I have to think now what happened the week. Then he's like, you know what, brother? I'll just go through your YouTube and figure out what you're talking about, what's happening.
That's a lot of work.
And I'll craft that as post twice a week. And that's what he's doing. So I have no idea. But all the posts are getting engagement, getting followers. Everything's being done. I have complete autopilot.
You
Sheikh.
know what? Allah barik. Abu Turab, proud of you, bro. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh will be so happy.
He started off
But he's
with
still doing a decent job. It's not, he has to do better.
yeah. Okay, fix up, bro.
No, 100%. Get better.
Please, I don't want him to try, you know.
Fix up, bro. Abu Turab.
I think this segment was so valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know, with your permission, maybe it's better if we put it before the
Yeah.
political one.
I'll up one for that too.
Okay, so I have some bad news. I am pre-diabetic. I just got my bloods done recently because a good friend of mine, Umar, aka the Muslim PT, he said, Imran, get your bloods done. I'll check them for you. Found out that I'm pre-diabetic. My estrogen is high, unfortunately. Just to clarify, my testosterone is not low, but there's something going on inside of me which makes my estrogen high, and a bunch of other things. I'm not a scientist, but all of these things have been causing me brain fog, fatigue. I've been sleeping for like 9 hours a day. I've not been optimal. I keep crashing in the middle of the day. I eat food, I crash. So I had to quickly just get my life changed. I've tried to get in shape for 15 years. I needed this wake up call, but the wake up call wasn't enough. I've got this brother Umar, Muslim PT, by my side. He's helping me, he's training me, he's helping me with my diet program, and I just want to share with you guys. I've lost 2.5 kg in like the last 10 days. Alhamdulillah, and my brain is so clear. I'm on a calorie deficit right now, and I'm on such an extreme calorie deficit. But he's given me a meal plan that's allowing me to have like the healthy foods that are going to keep me going. And he's giving me supplements to take that are helping to kill my cravings and making my calorie deficit easy. I'll be honest with you, the first 5 days were hard, super hard. But suddenly on the 6th day, I had gone through most of the day on less than 500 calories, I'm not exaggerating, and my energy was 10. Do I look energetic right now? I am on no more. Today, I am no more than 1,100 calories, and that's how I'm going to end my day, right? But the foods are good, healthy, protein focused, and supplements. So, look, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, no doubt there's going to be some underlying issues, but you can reverse it, inshallah ta'ala, with Allah's permission, His tawfiq. And if you're in your 20s, then you don't want to wait till you get to this point where you have this wake-up call, because I'll be honest with you, a year from now, I could actually have been diabetic. And we hear about parents being diabetic and friends, but you don't know what it's, bro, being diabetic is actually such it's such a suffering, man. May Allah cure those who are sick. Amin. So if you want to get your life in shape, I'm telling you, this guy, Umar, is the guy, man, with Allah's permission. He's not going to just work with you to help you get buff. I don't know, you don't really care about the body. If you did, you would have done it. But he's going to help you get, energetic, focus. You're going to have energy throughout the day, and you're going to be healthy, inshallah ta'ala. So if you've been neglecting your health up until now, and you feel like there could be some issues, maybe you're experiencing issues now, inshallah, it's not too late. And it's a guy who actually cares. That's what I love about the guy. He actually cares and goes out of his way to help myself and get in shape and make sure I'm progressing. So you can apply for his coaching program at the link below. Inshallah, I really believe you won't regret it. And our life is important, man. To think that I could become diabetic and won't be able to be there for my kid. Might die early, of course. Only Allah knows when death's written, but you don't want to destroy yourself with your own hands. Like, what a travesty, right? So go to the link below, check out his program, and inshallah, hopefully, you're going to join me as one of the Muslim PTs. Guys. So go. Did you guys see that article from Ray Dalio? The reason I want to bring this up is because I don't know if we talked about it on a podcast, Sam, but I remember you said you're actually waiting for this man to speak, right? His take on the current war. Firstly,
waiting, yeah.
Who's Ray Dalio? Why were you waiting for him to speak? And then we'll dive into his article, because it actually was very interesting. I feel like he really did capture the spirit of really what the problem is now.
Yeah. So we have covered Ray Dalio extensively in the podcast. So really quick one. He's one of the most successful hedge fund managers. Mm-hmm. And as hedge fund manager, you have to really study the pattern. You have to really study the history and derive from those patterns what's expected to happen. Of course, only Allah knows the future. But you try to play game theory, somebody else's decision, not your decision, but what's the outcome it will have on your life. So basically, that's what hedge fund managers do. And mashallah, he has been very successful so far.
He's the largest in the world.
Yeah, he's the largest.
Bridgewater.
Bridgewater Associates, largest hedge fund, 800 billion, close to $1 trillion now. His personal net worth is 53 billion USD. So his opinions do really matter. Alhamdulillah. And he's written successful books that we've covered many times, Sheikh, on the podcast. Alhamdulillah.
And I think right now, his books, because his books basically study the pattern of history, the rise and fall of empires, right? Yep. That's like the main thing. He's got 4 books, 3 of them literally focus on this particular topic, right? Very accurate. And I think that's what's right now people are really kind of like looking to him a lot more, because he's actually been accurate. His predictions have aligned. So why was it important for you to wait for what he has to say with regards to this particular Iran and Israel and USA crisis?
I'm laughing because one of the main reasons is, Sheikh, he's one of the few, because he's not a political analyst. Yeah. Number one, he says it always. He's just a guy who studies patterns because his livelihood depends on studying patterns and making decisions based on that, right? So because he's not a political analyst, he's not biased towards decision of this party versus that party. Plus, he's not on social media in the sense that he has to always say something in order to get more views and get more clout.
50 billion.
Yes. So he doesn't need to do that. Yeah. So for me, that gives him more authority. Mm-hmm. And that's why, Sheikh, if you follow the pattern, for me, it was very interesting. He was one of the very late ones to comment.
Yeah. Very late.
Very late. 17th day, he made his first comment on the situation. That means he needed to study. So if a guy like him needed to study to come with the comment, even on that comment, Sheikh, and we're going to jump to that comment shortly, it was not like this for sure. it was still looks like this will happen, but if this happens, then conditional. Now it's going to be interesting to see if this happens, but if this happens, that will happen, which is really bad for us. If this happens, maybe we have a better chance, but looks like that will happen. Like, it was I like this Sheikh, and that's why I was waiting for him. Very unbiased. He has nothing tied to one party or the other, and he doesn't have a social media that he needs to grow based on his opinions.
That point about him waiting 17 days is something that really needs to be underlined. One thing that I remember our mashayikh used to always tell us, scholars, they don't rush to give fatwa.
Mm-hmm.
They always take their time. And sometimes people are like, give me the answer. And the sheikh staying quiet, right? It's something that, I think is very important. Like, even when there's big global events happening, you think the scholars don't see guys whose beards have turned grey and they literally have one foot inside of their grave. You think that they're scared? You think that there's some dunyawi reason why they're not talking? No. There's a wisdom. There's, number one, it's knowing where to speak. So like, they will literally pull up to the people that it needs to be spoken to and just say to them directly, right? Yeah. I know mashayikh that would literally go to speak to rulers or people that are around the rulers and just say, look, here's my advice, right? Or here's my thoughts, here's my opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Or if a sheikh is going to speak publicly, he's going to speak it, but he's going to study the situation first and not create fitna, not create fasad. And also, it's not about fitna, fasad, not make a mistake. So I think this concept of like taking your time to study and analyze the situation is very powerful. Look, we started talking about it from like, I thought we were good because we waited a week before we spoke.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so, did you guys read the article? Did you guys read it?
Yes, I read it.
I didn't go through all of it yet,
Okay.
but I'm already familiar with what he's going to say.
Okay, so
But you'll summarize it better, Sheikh. I think you have read it more
in
than
simple
us.
terms,
Yep.
what he's saying that this entire conflict, right, whether it ends, whether it doesn't, who's going to be successful on each side, comes down to who is going to own the Strait of Hormuz.
Who controls
The Strait of Hormuz, right? And the reason he mentions that, please add on anything I miss out, is that this small little passageway, which is about 33 meters wide, right? Sorry, 33 kilometers wide, is literally the doorway. It's literally the doorway for 20% of the world's oil, right? And only Allah knows how much gas. Massive amount of the world's energy. If you take 1/5 of the world's energy and you shut it off, it's game over, brother. It's literally game over. His point is, Iran's not a strong country. Even now, militarily wise, its capabilities have been decimated, right? But you don't have to be strong to block off a 33-kilometer passageway. Pirates can do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So his point is that this now puts Iran in a very strong position if they are able to maintain control of the gate of the Strait of Hormuz. Sorry. Now, direct negotiation with Japan, with China, with India is in their hands.
With South Korea.
Because, if I'm not mistaken, 20% of Europe's oil, or 20% of the oil that comes out of the Strait of Hormuz goes to Europe.
Yeah.
China gets 60% of the oil.
Yeah, majority goes to China, South Korea, Japan.
Right. 70% of Japan's oil comes from the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep.
60% of India's oil comes from the Strait of Hormuz. I think, 40% of China's oil comes from the Strait of Hormuz.
And then, Sheikh, real quick, President Trump said, we only get 1% from Strait of Hormuz. So he already put his card out.
Yes. So America makes, it requires 200 million barrels of oil a day. And it actually produces 200 million barrels of oil a day. So America is actually self-sufficient when it comes to oil, right? But the reason why this is important for America is why? Because petrodollar.
Yeah.
Right? Because the countries that the oil is coming out from, China, Japan, they pay in USD, and then that USD is then taken back into America and it's invested, right? So his whole thing is that this right here is what the battle comes down to. And he mentions that America, if they lose, this will destroy the trust the whole world has in America as a military, entity, as the greatest superpower or one of the greatest superpowers in the world, because you literally lost to the Iranians. You couldn't maintain a 33-kilometer, bit of ocean. You couldn't control that. So it's going to make that trust go down, right? And then when that happens, he goes, what happens next is economic trust follows, right? Or the lack of economic trust follows, which means people are then going to stop investing in America. They're going to stop having confidence in the global reserve currency, which is the US dollar. And he mentions that this moment is just like what happened with the British Empire in, if I'm not mistaken, 1953 with the Suez Canal.
56.
Barakallahu feek, when Egypt decided to take control over the Suez Canal. France and the UK said, listen, we're taking it back. And America, I think it was Eisenhower at the time, right, said, no, back off. And at that moment, it was known globally that the British Empire is no more.
Fallen.
It's gone.
Officially gone.
And he mentioned the exact same thing happened with the Spanish and happened with the Portuguese when they lost control of
the Dutch as well.
And the Dutch, when they lost control of critical trade routes in the world, right? When they lost control of critical trade routes in the world. So he's saying this thing fundamentally comes down to this. And by the way, that's his analysis. I'm not saying I agree with it entirely. We're going to discuss that. But he's saying that's it. Because whether America can take control of it or not is going to decide whether who wins or not. And America cannot afford to not take control. If it loses it, then it will also lose its position as a global superpower. People in the region will not feel like they can protect. America cannot protect them anymore. The economy will follow or collapse, so on and so forth. I'll just mention one thing before I pass it on to you, Sam, and then everyone else, is that trade routes are a very important thing. Even we understand it from a deen perspective, right? So Allah Azza wa Jal, a lot of scholars wrote, why did Allah Azza wa Jal choose Mecca as the place to send the Prophet ﷺ? Why Mecca, right? Because Mecca strategically was placed in a very, very strong position for many reasons. It was number one between the Roman and the Persian Empire. Many things, but there's one specific thing is the trade routes that was also mentioned. It's an economic hub. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَصَيْفِ, right? They have two trade routes. They have the trade route to Sham and they have the trade route to Yemen. So whereas most people would only have access to one trade route and they could only trade once a year because they would either trade in the summer or the winter, in Mecca they had access to both, so they could double their commerce. They had access to both trade routes, right? So this is something that's very, very important in our deen. We also know that the Prophet ﷺ, how did the Battle of Badr start? Because the Prophet was intercepting trade routes with the Sahaba to mess up the economy of the Quraysh. He was intercepting their caravans, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is a big thing in our religion. We understand it, right? We understand the importance of trade routes and having access to trade routes and make sure you protect our trade routes. So I just want to put that out there first and foremost so people can see that this is something our deen also gave consideration to. We're not just having an arbitrary
just to add context, Sheikh, before some ladies in America clip what you just said. It's the trade route is, correct me, Sheikh, if I'm wrong, but a lot of these trading that Abu Sufyan was doing at that time was from the wealth of the Sahabas that they left behind in Makkah.
100%. They usurped the wealth of the Muslims. They were selling it off.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%.
So Muslims were rightfully taking
back with their own.
Taking
100%.
their back wealth.
Yeah, 100%.
So if somebody clips, make sure you clip the whole thing.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
There was actually a very important clip today. But unfortunately, I just saw it like right before the podcast, but it's worth mentioning. And actually, I could send the link and we can translate it. It was by Waddah Khamfar, who was the ex-head of Al Jazeera for a little over 10 years. So he was a previous correspondent for Al Jazeera. And then coincidentally, he was on the plane with the Zionist Emir of Qatar at that time. And he liked him so much that he made him head of Al Jazeera.
Okay.
So he said that the Iran situation has one of the two solutions. Either it's going to end up being, like a Shia empire or a Shia country. And it is what it is. It's just going to be like that. Or it's going to turn into a Persian nationalistic country. And it has to be one of those two. It cannot be a third. The third one is actually the one that me and Sam were discussing the other day, is that the push for a democratic elected sort of like someone like Pahlavi is the solution that Waddah Khamfar is saying is not going to happen. But this is what the US and Israel are pushing for, because we were saying that if they don't go all the way and change the regime entirely, then it's a failed mission. And in my opinion, honestly, it goes back to exactly where we were talking before, is that are they really going to be able to achieve this target, yes or no? And without having boots on the ground, I highly doubt.
So that's another point that he made, right? Is that you cannot, unless you have a very long, sustained naval operation or boots on the ground, you will not be able to take control of the Strait of Hormuz.
So that means it's destined to fail. In other words, because like what Khamfar said, those two are inevitable. So the third one that you're pushing for is impossible to do without boots on the ground.
So this is the thing, right? This is the reason why. So there's a lot of people calling for Trump to take an off-ramp, right? They're saying, listen, just declare victory. Just pull out and declare victory. But the reason why it seems cannot, based on what Dalio was saying, is that...
It's because of Hormuz.
Because it's Strait of Hormuz. There's no...
It will be double L.
Right. So you've won the midterms, maybe, right? Or you look back, you look good, you save face. But actually, that's just temporary because the world is going to go up in flames if the Strait of Hormuz gets blocked. You know what I'm saying? So
blocked or Sheikh, like you mentioned, they're directly negotiating with Iran.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, 100%.
That's even worse from Americans' lens.
I like the Americans and the
China, India, Japan.
Imagine they go to Iran directly to negotiate. Okay, give us access to Strait of Hormuz, and they do a deal. They pay, and they get access. Then officially, America.
Imagine China now comes in and says, "We're gonna rebuild the ports in the Strait of Hormuz."
Yeah.
Bandar Abbas and
that sounds like something China would do because they're not if you go back their 5,000-year history, they're not like expansionist mentality. Like they don't usually go and what US does. Yeah. They don't usually do that. They try to
collaborate.
So it makes me wonder then what the hell were they betting on?
That was a joke, Sheikh. Honestly, this whole thing was a joke.
No, really. What now coming to think of it, what the hell were they betting on?
On that, guys. I just read today, just before coming here, the chief of U.S. counterterrorism resigned.
Yes.
Interesting.
And he said the reason is Iran war because in my conscience I cannot support something that Iran had posed no threat to the U.S. We just literally went because we're under pressure from Israel.
He actually said that?
Yes, and he resigned just like a few hours ago.
Yeah, he submitted his letter. His letter is online as well.
Yes, letter is online. He put a letter.
Shortly before our podcast, we didn't even...
Yeah.
That's actually big,
That's huge.
Because this is the thing, right? I saw an interview Tucker Carlson had with like a colonel.
Yeah.
His thing was like, why don't these guys resign? Like Kane and all these guys.
Oh, yes.
They were saying that, listen, there's no military solution here. Why don't they resign? And his thing was, bro, if they resign, they can never work in the military industry ever again.
This man, Malaguyed him. He basically stood up. It was hard. It's hard to do.
No, but that's the thing. Like Trump, if you look at his character, and I'm sure Brother Sam would say more on that because he studied him a lot more. He's an expert on Ray Dalio and Donald Trump. He's very calculated in his nature. All his decisions are very calculated. So which makes me wonder, like, really, like how on earth did he end up doing this without having an end game or end point in mind?
Yeah, we will never know the answer for sure, bro. We can only speculate, right? But one thing, no matter how calculated and how smart you think you are, if you don't have the right board of advisors around you, right people around you, you can't, like, there's no way. You're a human at the end of the day. You'll never have clarity. You will make wrong decisions. That's why it's very important to have the number one, number two, number three in the company, like really on the vision. Otherwise, they can completely take you. And because your trust is so much placed on them, it doesn't matter how calculative you are.
You hear about it all the time, Sheikh, hostile takeovers, right?
Yes.
Where do those hostile takeovers come
because from insider.
From within the company, right? Yeah. So you think that doesn't happen on a government level?
Yep.
Also, just to mention, this is a huge dua that we should always make for our rulers in the Muslim land.
We talked about yesterday.
Yeah, which is Allah, keep good people around them. Get them from bad people, right? Because again, like you said, everyone's a human at the end of the day. So when you make dua, Allah, keep good people around them, So this is also very important. Fadl Sheikh.
Yes.
So brothers have mentioned very good points. Sam, you are an expert, so...
I'm not sure.
No,
it's kind of fine now. I'm chop expert.
You know,
I don't know if I should be happy about it or no.
You live there and you understand the mood a lot more than us looking at it from the outside. But my take on it, one, regarding the circle around him. So forget the circle around him directly. The wider circle within the, I wouldn't say ruling class, but the political class.
Yeah, the establishment.
The establishment, regardless of which side or which color they are, whether they're red or blue.
It is the establishment.
The interest is not necessarily in the interest of the
Americans.
USA.
Yeah.
So the actions always
Good point.
portray that they are working for a third state, and it's become pretty
Very
public
obvious.
knowledge
Yes.
at the moment. And there's a whole tracker.
And their
around-
officials are saying it now.
The officials are saying it.
Yeah.
There's trackers on how much each senator has taken from a certain organization. It's public stuff. It's nothing to be. So they are not. So the advice or the henchmen on the journey with this particular individual are not necessarily fighting or guiding in the interest of the states.
Yep.
Right? They have another agenda. That's one. Two, and we won't go into it because I think we've speculated enough about the files and things like that, so let's just leave that topic for today. But in many ways, to answer your question, why? Generally is calculated, generally is, but I think most of the commentators or analysts around understand that this was not a decision taken by him willingly.
So basically, he
regardless
was forced,
why,
in other words.
It was a decision that was forced upon him for whatever reason. So hence the mess. In some ways, I also look at it, and even if you ignore that perspective and someone says, no, I don't agree with that, cool, carry on. But then there's, if you look at what's been happening, there seems to be, by design, the US is sort of declining, and there seems to be a push to get them to get them over the edge, so that another state can
I would be surprised.
replace them.
Yep.
All right. So, as you say, we never know what we don't know, but it's interesting times. And coming particularly to the state, and you spoke about oil and negotiations. Do you know Iran has offered? We would allow Chinese, we'd allow India, and we'd allow I think one other country to sail through the Strait of Hormuz.
Bangladesh also they included.
They included Bangladesh. Okay, mashallah.
They actually let an Indian ship go. They let the first ship they let pass was an Indian ship.
But why, Sheikh? Their angle is exactly this. We let you guys go through, but you trade in yen. You don't trade in
They
the
say that?
Yes.
They said that
They said
already.
that. Yes.
Man, it's already happening then. They already said that.
We can very fact check it.
Can you fact check?
But I did see a post around it, but just fact check it. Today, with the amount of information.
But that being said, didn't Trump threaten that he'll use severe military force if they keep blocking the strait?
He did.
I mean, he has been. It's been.
No, but like he said, like if they continue to do that, like I will destroy whatever is left, whatever 10% is left.
What should I type? I'm not good with searching.
Okay, I'll just ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, just ask it. Did Iran offer certain countries to
Pass through the Strait of
pass
Hormuz.
through the Strait of Hormuz in exchange of trading oil for yen?
Not while that's coming up, Sheikh. Not one single unbiased person, like business people, have said this was a good decision. This is needed. We should have like everybody's saying.
Yeah,
didn't make sense. From Jamie Dimons of the world, Larry Fink, to Ray Dalio,
And those are his boys.
and those are the movers and shakers globally. Actually, not only America. And they're saying, what was this?
Two sources from Al Mayadeen and the Times of India. It's basically Iran's considering allowing limited oil shipments if the oil is traded in Chinese yuan instead of US dollars.
Wow. Okay, so they're considering. That's.
So that's a signal.
That's huge, man.
So what do you think India's going to say when 60% of its oil relies upon the Strait of Hormuz? They're going to say, yes, brother.
Of course.
We'll give you yen.
Of course.
Oh my
It's a nation of how many billion? 1.4 billion people or something.
So now here's the thing, right?
And we know the decline of the dollar is there.
Okay, so guys, let's zoom out for a second, yeah? By the way, just so you guys know, we're not political analysts. We're not even trying to be, right? This conversation is because it affects people commercially. And
Yes, that's what we're trying to come to.
We're going to come to that in a second. But sometimes we do like to, and I know me and you do this a lot, right? We play this game of when you're in this situation, what would you do?
Yeah.
And it's not because we're trying to...
I call him and ask this question.
Yeah. But
randomly.
We're not trying to predict outcomes, but you're trying
Actually,
to...
do that with me too.
Yeah.
You're trying to get your brain to think strategically.
Right.
So I'm going to do this exercise with you guys right now. I'm going to give you a bit of context.
Nice, I like that.
Do this exercise. But the whole idea is to think strategically. It helps you in everything, right? As a CEO, as a father in your household, like helps you with many things. So, do you guys know that Trump has a meeting with Xi Jinping at the end of this month?
Yeah.
At the end of this month.
Yes.
You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I know. I knew that. Yes, it's a scheduled meeting for a while. Before even the war, it was scheduled.
I believe if there is a chance for a ceasefire, inshallah,
it's going to be before.
It's going to be after that meeting.
Yeah, like right around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that there is no way. By the way, I'm not saying this as an official. Don't take what I'm saying. Both official sources.
Yes.
I'm just doing a mental exercise, right? But I like to speak in a certain way because, I'm an extrovert and I have ADHD. So I believe there's no way this is going to end before that period. Up until at the very least. You know why? Because if the US has a way to make it out, they can't make a deal with Iran. It's got to be with China.
Yeah.
It's got to be, listen, China, look, we messed up. I'm very happy to make a deal with you. The reason why no deals with Iran are going to happen is that Ray Dalio said, but they're just going to kill the negotiator.
Yeah.
But they can't kill China's negotiator.
Right.
They can't do that. It's a nuclear power. It's the second greatest superpower in the world, right? So I feel if there is a way, the only way out of this where Trump can save face is to a deal with Xi Jinping. And say, look, we'll give you this. Make this stop, please. Let's both maintain presence. I don't know what the deal is going to be.
Right.
But I feel like whatever. What do you guys think about that, firstly, that analysis? Then I want to hear your thoughts.
I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you the biggest loser out of this deal is this region right here, and especially the Gulf countries. They'll get the shortest end of the stick, because for them, this war would have been literally for nothing. Why? Because they paid the price, they took all the damage, and they still have the same regime that remained in place and was not removed as a threat. So essentially, nothing changed. They just ended up paying the price. You know what I mean? Did you see what I'm saying? Because Israel and the US didn't go all the way, because they can't go all the way, because we spoke about the third option, which you need boots on the ground, which they will not do. That means you still ended up with the same threat, but now there's even more animosity. And they suffered all the economic blows.
So again, I'm not speaking as an expert, right? But I believe the opposite. I believe this is going to make the region just go through the roof, and I'll tell you why. Number one, the region is going to diversify, just like what we talked about briefly in previous episode, right?
In what
Which
sense?
is that if, for example, so
they lose trust in the projector and they find other projectors.
Right. So right now, like in business, there can't be primary dependencies, right? If, for example, everything is just dependent upon one big client, right? All 80% of your money is
It's
dependent
not
on
a good business to buy.
What does this do? It makes you diversify now, right? So there's not even I'm just going back 10, 20 years when the region was doing deals with the US. It's like, is there even a point at looking at Japan? Is there even a point at looking at these other countries? Is there even a point at... look, Saudi has a military defense pact with Pakistan. Was there even a point doing that 15, 20 years ago when you've got American bases? But now you diversify. You think, you know what? Nah, we're not putting all our eggs in one bag. And that creates opportunity.
So basically, you're saying they would most likely shift their alliance to the east instead of the west.
They will diversify. I'm not saying, I don't believe they'll cut off from the West.
Then if that's your argument, and if that really ends up happening, then I agree with you. I agree with you. Then things are going to change.
And then here's the thing, right?
Drastically and positively.
And here's the thing.
But will they do that? That's the thing.
So I again, I don't want to speak on behalf of our leadership as me doing this mental exercise. I think from my limited understanding, that's probably, a good option to go to. Just the same way we're thinking about it in business terms, right? You don't want primary dependencies that bog you down. You want to diversify. Now, here's the thing. You also then will think to diversify your security measures as well, 100%. Right? It's not just American bases. Maybe it's...
On that, Sheikh.
You see Pakistani bases.
You saw
Pakistani bases. We see Turkish bases, inshallah.
You saw the comment yesterday from Trump.
No.
He says we never expected Iran to retaliate against the region.
Who said that?
Trump.
Trump said that multiple times.
And he said, no, but last night was heavy. So he says we didn't expect that. And they're foolish in doing so because the regions literally they banker. Qatar and Dubai or UAE are they bankers. So they're very foolish, and it's more out of desperation that they're doing what they want rather than strategy. 2. But the third thing that he said, which was scary, and again shows you his allegiance, and I'm sure the region leadership would pick it up. He's saying even if we had known that they would have attacked the region, we would have still went ahead and did what we had to.
Yes, he said it.
Really? He said that?
He said that openly.
He said that, yeah.
He said that.
So surely that would be picked up here. And
Wait, was that in a tweet?
they would
No,
understand.
live speech, bro, interview.
They would learn. I mean, they understand
Live,
how
he
much.
said it. Like, yeah, but even if we knew,
But
like,
bro,
yeah, whatever.
Forget
take
the
it.
region. Europe is pissed off with him. Europe realizes they
Sheikh,
can
talk
no
about,
longer.
like,
The
how
NATO
he's...
don't want to get involved.
Talk about that. Talk about that. How he's requesting the NATO to clean up his mess, and they're not coming.
and they're not coming to the party.
Yeah, expand on that. Sheikh.
But again, you know, I think a good couple of episodes back, we covered this point where we said that you're the big daddy in the region, and you played. There was a known framework that the world operated within, right? Where I would protect and I would fund certain bills, but you toe the line on my calls.
Yeah.
Then you got to a point where you started slapping everyone with sanctions. You started bullying all your friends.
Right.
You started asking for your
Out of the deal doesn't work when you have already written a book on it, you know?
100%.
Doesn't
And
work anymore.
So these guys were already distancing themselves away from him. Right. In some ways,
Germany's chancellor clearly said, Sheikh, this is not our war. He said it today. Like, this is not our war. This is US and Israel's war. And they have not consulted us as in NATO and Germany, before going in. We're not participating. This is not our war.
So
you know what?
He wants to invade Greenland and bring NATO
Yes.
to its knees anyway.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? Let me follow your lead here. Let's say the countries in the region everywhere shift and start diversifying east. How's Israel going to deal with that?
So here's the thing, right?
Really? Because that's where everything changes.
So I'll also tell you something else, since we're making
Assumptions.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Gamifying this.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something. I believe this is also going to end because of an ayah in the Quran. And Allah Azza wa Jal talks about Banu Israel. Allah said, كُلَّمَا أَوْقَدُوا نَارًا لِلْحَرْبِ أَطْفَاهَا اللَّهُ. Allah says that they continuously spark the flames of war. And every time they do it, Allah puts it out, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that they do and then it gets relaxed. So what's gonna happen is that the flame that they have ignited, I believe, based on the sunnah of Allah Azza wa Jal, wallahu a'lam, and the pattern that Allah describes this particular people with, and looking historically how they just keep igniting wars. Allah Azza wa Jal keeps putting their flame out, right? So I feel like that is going to be more of a long-term, like, okay, let's go back, re-strategize and see how we can spark it again. Let's go back, re-strategize and see how we can spark it again. With every spark, I feel like they keep getting, or they keep thinking they're getting closer to their goal. But my thing is that right now, it seems like that the negotiation is going to be between China and America. And, bro, look, think about it. Israel has, if I'm not mistaken, they've taken land in Lebanon, right?
Yes.
As far as they can say,
Whilst all this is going on, they genociding Lebanon, and they pursuing full speed ahead at their greater expansionist plan, and they executing that. Also, one of the reasons for them is there's multitude of goals when you go into conflict. One of the goals for them is they now feel that they are independent from the US.
Yep.
They no longer, so they use the US as long
Resources.
as
They milked it.
they milked it. It's become a burden.
Netanyahu said word for word in 10 years they were going to be fully independent.
Fully independent.
Which means they have a plan, by the way.
They have a plan.
Yeah, he said it's in the works. He said word for word, it's in the works. In 10 years, we're going to be fully
And do
independent.
you know what part
They
of the
want
plan
the
is?
states to fail.
Do you know what part
because
of their
they
plan
want
is?
to
Do
come in.
Sorry?
you know what part of their plan is?
What?
It's India.
Oh, yeah.
That's the superpower.
Of course.
That's the superpower.
That's the next ally.
That's the next.
And if India's got good relations with Iran, India neutralizes the threat, perhaps. Again, we're just talking here. But point being is that I'm just interested to see what happens after this meeting with Xi Jinping.
So, from a commercial standpoint, Sheikh, let's bring it to business and foreign direct investments here, investors looking to invest in the region. Let's think like them, right? And from their perspective, inshallah, ceasefire happens. Then from their perspective, the question would be, what ensures that this does not happen
Exactly.
again?
Exactly.
Like, okay, ceasefire, khalas, good. What ensures my apartment in Palm or my hotel apartment penthouse, there's like, or in Blue Water Island, like something doesn't get hit, right? Now, based on what you said, Sheikh, one potential could be on that line, the answer could be that, hey, look, we got attacked.
But we're good with them now.
Yeah, because we had military bases here of this country, of US. But now, this is not our big daddy anymore. But this is not our protector or supporter anymore. We have diversified our security. So now we're getting some support from this country, some from there. We have diversified. And now we're in good relationship because of that diversification. So what would be, like, how do you get investors' confidence? From that line, tell me, like, what are you guys' thoughts?
This is about my pay grade, so I'm here. I'm interested.
Like, investor confidence, if that's the question, okay, good, khalas. You guys are saying we're back at it. Look, everybody's buying properties now. Everything is khalas. Everything is ended. My question as an investor is, okay, what guarantees it doesn't happen again in 6 months?
I'll come to your investor question second. I'll answer another question first. Or just make a comment on what you're talking about. So, should there be a ceasefire, which we're hoping for? Yes, I don't see that threat going away unless it's dealt with and unless
it's neutralized.
It's neutralized properly. Number one.
Yeah.
The region understands that. Iran themselves are saying that what guarantees are you going to be giving us that you're not going to attack us again?
Yeah, that's why we don't want to talk. That's what they're saying.
We don't want to talk because we were in the middle of negotiation.
Correct. They said it multiple
you
times.
were led to believe something else rather than what was the factual negotiations around. And so you give us guarantees. Likewise, the region and other countries who have interests here would also be requiring some sort of guarantees. So I think it would be a protracted sort of negotiation. It would not be easy. But let's park that aside. We can assume that there's infinite possibilities. Possibilities is not for us to discuss.
Right.
But what affects us is, and our clients or investors by large or businessmen in the region, is the pockets. And yes, I think from an emerging market or from an emerging point of view, where there's risk, there's a reward. So it remains, so the region is volatile. We're not necessarily talking about a particular country being unsafe or something like that. Alhamdulillah, even in the worst of it, we were quite safe.
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. Alhamdulillah.
Right. So the region may be a bit unstable. But I see it still produces higher returns than developed markets. So risk appetite is there for reward. And a mitigation factor, I wouldn't go into it now. It's diversification, which is we're going to cover.
Correct, inshallah.
Anyway, on that. So I would still say nothing's guaranteed in life if you have to answer the investor. But the probability of your apartment getting hit in the palm,
of course,
is very minuscule. And for the higher return, a lot of people go into Africa, where
there's nothing there. No
you land in the airport, you need security to get you to your hotel. Otherwise, you could be, bag over your head and taken away. So, but business thrives.
You have a question?
Just quick comment, Sheikh. Quick comment. So one key difference between what happened in 2008 and 15 and now, there's actually over the years now, in decades of Dubai and UAE being developed, now there's a big chunk of people who actually truly consider this home.
100%.
And that was not the case in 2008 when people are leaving their Lambos. Now, literally, they're like, if we're in trouble, we're in trouble. This is my home. I feel hypocritical to leave.
That's
like,
this
is my home.
From those days.
Yes, this is my home. Okay, it's attacked. Now I'm going to stay. I stayed in the good times. I stayed in the bad times. This is my home. We're going to rebuild it back. That sentiment is very strong.
100%. I'll throw it back to you. So let's take regions of conflict. Let's take Russia, Ukraine. Was the last one before this. So Russia, Ukraine, how long is that drama going on?
4 years now. It just entered 4 year.
Fourth year, right? Or
Yeah.
4 years. Are all the Ukrainians and Russians, have they left that country?
No, there's still people living there.
So initially,
Yeah.
out of panic, what's going to
And
happen?
that's a real war.
And that's a real war.
That's
Two parties directly in conflict.
yeah.
Not a
A
collateral.
lot of them
Yeah.
went out of the region for a while. Some of them stayed. A lot of them returned to say, hey, it's just business as normal. Okay, now and again, we're going to have some drama. But a lot of them returned back to their home countries and are doing business, and life goes on.
So-
take Africa.
So
Sorry?
this is the point I was going to make, right? Because I'm asking you guys from my perspective, so pardon me for my ignorance here. But then you always ask the question, right? In comparison to what? So if you're not going to invest in Dubai, if Dubai is not safe, then in comparison to what?
We're going to come to it, Sheikh.
Because that's
We have other segments for it.
yeah. Because my point is that I feel like the new norm for the world now is
Yeah.
going to be conflict.
Yeah.
And
Across the world.
across the world.
Correct.
Right? China,
The next conflict is the South China Sea, right?
right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
China,
that's boiling.
Taiwan.
China, Taiwan.
So Pakistan, India,
Yeah. Even internally in the US.
right
which
now
we're gonna
Pakistan,
come to show.
Afghanistan are, may Allah bring back peace and security. I mean, point is that I feel like this previous world order, it was such a facade, right? Because by the way, genocides were being committed, murders and massacres were taking place, but their branding was great, right? Which is why everyone believed there was this perception, this illusion of things are good.
And there was no social media also.
There was no social media. Now, all that's happened is you're just seeing that you're actually just seeing the genocides, right? You're seeing the massacres, you're seeing the bloodshed, you're seeing the injustice because of social media. And also, some people who are like behaving,
Yep.
but like, well, I'm not going to behave now, right? This is standard social proof, right? When you see one
There's
kid,
no rule of law.
there's no rule of law. When you see one kid act bad, the other kids are going to follow. So I feel like this is just going to become the norm. So where are you going to put? You're going to go to the UK?
Very important point.
Shall I tell you a stat I came across today that blew my mind? Do you know how much of the UK's spending in the entire economy is from the government?
Majority.
40%.
Yeah.
40% of every penny spent inside of the United Kingdom.
It's by the government. The government is the biggest business. Yeah, government contract, you're good.
How does the UK find itself in such a position when at some point they're one of the most industrialist nations
They
in the
looted,
world?
bro.
Allah Azza wa Jalla.
Of course, it's not theirs.
Like
say-
they had such a
say-
huge economy, and
we
they
say
were
in Punjab-
exporters of everything.
We say in Punjabi, right? Allah di lati be'awaz, which means the punishment of Allah, when it comes, you hear no sound. Yeah, akhi, Allah Azza wa Jal, man, like he's, you seen what the British Empire did, akhi?
Yeah.
America's done nothing. America's an angel.
Yeah, compared to that, America's an angel,
America's an
honestly.
angel, akhi. Furthermore, shall I tell you something? You know some of the stuff that the British did in Palestine?
Yeah.
Even the Jews did.
There was
in the 20s.
there was a
in the
book.
1929 or something.
Yes.
There was a book. I think you were the one that mentioned it last time in podcast. There was a book that documented the atrocities done by the British that even the Israelis didn't do.
Sheikh. Well, let's not get into that. Point being is that
How did people move? Why did our parents move, Sheikh? It was just the economic thing, right? Maybe no social media also. That could be.
Where do
They
you
did not
mean
know.
move from where?
the reason my dad moved
Yeah.
is because
Oh,
my
to
dad
the
was
UK.
born in Kenya, which was a British colony at the time.
Right.
So my dad was born as a British citizen, and my dad's my grandfather, my dad's father passed when my dad was 11, and his older brother was already in the UK working.
And also, I think our parents also did not really know a lot of the things.
Sheikh, it requires-
Living in village, they're working
Yeah.
hard, going about their day, trying to feed their family. There's no social media. Only mainstream narrative is only radio. How many people had radio? So I think there's many.
Point being is that to answer your question, every nation that oppresses in that way, that disbelieves in Allah, that oppresses in that way, they will follow. Look at Ray Dalio, his cycle, right? It follows material trends, right? The Sunnah of Allah has also spiritual trends. Oppression, injustice, criminality. They've done that. Sheikh, look, people, Allah, you have kids. Forget kids, you have grown men telling you I'm a woman. From that day, it was known it's over. So my point is, to come back, sorry, we pivoted, is that what other option do investors have?
Yeah, that's the most powerful question the investors need to really ask.
So maybe I'll comment from here, and hence, and we've been saying this, hard assets before, forget regions for now, but we've been talking about certain asset classes before the current war. And I see this as becoming more and more important in people's portfolios and for people to survive. Because whenever I used to say this, you guys used to laugh at me. Maybe now you'll take me more seriously.
I wasn't laughing. He was laughing.
When I always say, these are the last kicks of a dying dog. Right? You never took me seriously.
That's right. I'm still laughing, but I'm taking you seriously. It's the way you deliver it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't not laugh at that.
Forget what's happening. This is all
So
part of the, the movie playing out.
Yes.
The American and the Western hegemony is over. It's genuinely over.
Sheikh Ebrahim,
It's
Ismail
just,
has announced it.
It's a astaghfirullah. No, I mean, Ray Dalio says it as well.
Ray
Right?
Dalio announced it too. You're right.
If
It's just
A matter of
now
time.
a matter of time. And all this, it's, so what, you know what's the cost of this war to the state so far?
Yeah, 15 billion, I think, so far.
Correct?
Yeah.
And they can't pay people's medical bills?
Yeah.
They can't give people food, they can't give them housing, but they got money for wars.
They cut on food stamps, they cut on medical,
So
they increased property
if-
taxes, they increased taxes, they increased
How many people live in the USA?
330 million.
You think those 300 people are going to sit calm when they
No, they're not.
are
And they-
unable to
and that's a
fill their stomachs?
and that's a country that allows people to carry weapons.
So,
and the founding fathers of the country did it so that if this day comes, like, you guys take
Yeah.
arms and take the government down.
so it's coming. And
Yeah.
it's not only the US.
Yeah.
It's Europe is in tatters. It's across the world. The last world order is over.
If
It's,
what Sheikh said,
There's a new world order coming, which would come with a lot of chaos. It would come with a lot of difficulty, hardship, but a lot of opportunity as well. So it's, do you want to put your head in the sand and cry about things? Or do you want to take the seed in your hand and plant it? The choice is there. There'll be losses, but there'll be opportunities.
I think it's conditional.
You decide.
I think it's conditional. I think it's
No, in chaos always comes opportunities.
I think it's conditional. I think it will be the end of an era if what Sheikh Imran said is going to happen. If they really, at least in this part of the world, started to re-strategize and realign their allegiance, then 1,000% what you're saying is going to happen. And it's only a matter of time because the US is going to find itself literally with no one left on their side in this part of the
Plus,
world.
there's so many.
Who's on the US side anymore?
Sheikh, plus there's so
Let's
many.
count countries. Who
But that's the
backs
thing.
them?
They burned their bridges in South America,
Canada
in
is
Europe,
against them.
in Canada.
Europe is not interested in them.
South America is not.
South America, the thing.
So I'm asking you a question, right? Let's think like investors. What other options are there? Singapore? If this is Singapore.
Okay, so let's talk about Singapore.
South China Sea is going up in flames.
Yeah, so let's talk about Singapore. Sheikh.
How does that affect?
People keep mentioning
Singapore?
Singapore as an alternative.
No, it's not. When you look at the
No,
numbers,
but I'm saying that
people
that's-
keep mentioning that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the reasons it's not. So here, right now in Dubai, the average price per square foot is still only $250 to $300 per square foot. Same in Singapore is close to $1,500 per square foot. And the rental yield is not there. That's number one. Number two, Dubai is the only global city that's fully English speaking. If you look at other global cities, it's different. So you can, outside of course, English speaking countries I'm talking about. I'm not-
Singapore is the closest.
closest, but not even close, bro.
Yeah.
Not everybody speaks English there.
Bro, Dubai real estate is cheaper than Mumbai.
Yes, absolutely. So there's not even comparison.
Really?
Yeah.
It's cheaper than Dhaka, by the way. Dhaka
Yeah,
doesn't
yes.
show up on the list because it's corrupt.
That is so funny.
But Dubai real estate, bro, we could not,
Wow.
like, with the price that we're
No,
paying here,
100%.
even at the top peak of the market, you could go with the same money in Dhaka. They were like, would it, like, bring few
Hence,
more
we don't
bags with
see
you?
that peak. As much as we said, the
That's why they
discussions.
charge $500,000 for a passport.
Oh, yeah, it's $500,000 passport. What did you think, brother?
And most importantly, people keep forgetting that Singapore has finite amount of land, very finite. It's a very tiny island. It's super small and it is completely like just
It's good for its
saturated.
banking structure.
So the
Very
day
saturated.
China decides to play expansion, play expansion
I think
games,
this is the main point, personally.
right? Taiwan's gone.
And
Right.
what follows after that?
What follows on?
Hong
What's
Kong,
next?
Singapore.
So these guys are saying if Iran goes or when it goes, right, the usual suspects, they're already after Turkey. China also has a plan. It's Taiwan and Singapore.
And here's the thing, right? I don't expect Singapore to have interceptor missiles at Dubai.
No way.
These guys actually done a good.
Sheikh, 2,000 missiles. 2,000. Officially, we crossed 2,000 between missiles, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones. And subhanAllah, every life is precious. But comparatively, 2,000 missiles, 6 deaths. Like which other city can
No
say
city in the
we
world would
got
have
like
handled it.
2,000 hit at us and 6 deaths.
People would have been living in bunkers. People would have been living without.
Sheikh, people would have been stopped living. We're still living. We're going out
We're
eating.
doing business.
We were, yes.
We were in the podcast.
Take our kids out, man.
People are in the park. 100%.
Salah, bro.
Congregation. Large congregations.
Now
You're right.
I'm
People
like-
would have stopped living and there would have been curfews. We said it yesterday. We'll say it again. Your own government would be killing you.
Yeah, even they were saying, Sheikh, because Iran was posting that thread. I don't know how serious they are or capable they are, that they're going to hit the Golden State, California. And the Department of War, some officials or some commentators are saying, if they actually do that, we rely on intelligence so that we know before they do it. But if they are successfully able to do it, we cannot defend it. We don't have the technology to defend it. We have to prevent it. Our whole thing is preventive measure because our intel is so great. We'll know before they do it.
Apparently, there was talk about them having a certain type of hypersonic missile that can make its way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if with their
It's a
intel,
laser
they cannot
missile.
know before they do the attack. Like if they find out after, they cannot intercept.
I
they don't have the
understand
tech.
your point. Say it again. Sorry.
Huh?
I didn't understand your point.
Basically, he's saying that if Iran is successful in having their missiles reach all the way there, even the US cannot defend itself.
That's what their commentators are saying because they rely on their intel so that Iran never gets to the point of launching it.
Because the missile, when it comes, because they don't have interceptors.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
They don't have interceptors.
And
Because
don't
they
have
rely,
enough. They
yeah,
don't
they
have
rely
enough.
on their
It's just-
alhamdulillah,
about
naturally
it.
Allah
Yeah,
gifted
they have two
natural
oceans
bodies
on
of
either side.
oceans,
Yeah.
number one, and second, their intelligence. They will know before anything
Yeah,
happens.
okay. So they don't have to have interceptor missiles that, for example, they have to have here because they've got two oceans on either side.
Right.
But
Okay.
can we just play a small game? Because I'm actually very curious. Can each one of you guys just give a prediction of where do you think what do you think is going to happen? How do you think this is going to end? I'll start with myself. I think the guys here, in the region, are smart enough. And I think they're going to do what you said. They're going to rearrange. And they're
Rearrange
going
the chessboard.
Yeah, rearrange the chessboard, and they're gonna make peace with the neighbors, however you want to put it. That's my take. What do you guys think?
I believe this doesn't cascade into a series of apocalyptic Armageddon type events, which we hope it doesn't, inshallah ta'ala. I believe the region's just going to go up.
Very similar.
Really?
100%. I believe. It might be as in just looking at everything. It was since I found out about this meeting with China. By the way, our predictions can change every day.
Yeah, yeah.
based
Of course,
on
every hour it can change
Yeah.
depending on how
based
things
on what we have
develop.
right now.
There's a
So-
rumor, by the way, they're meeting in Oman in a couple of days. US and Iran. It's a strong rumor, by the way.
Okay.
So we don't know the future, but
No, just prediction.
like Sheikh Imran, and as much as previously I may have said the opening shots of World War III have begun, and I said that before this current crisis, and I still believe that. But I don't believe this
Is the catalyst.
becomes this becomes a catalyst. It may be a catalyst, but I don't see this
that's what that
exploding
Beyond
what it is for now, for the foreseeable future. And these guys are businessmen at the end of the day, and they deal makers. They'll make a deal, whatever it takes.
And
you?
I pray what I'm saying happens, inshallah. I feel like, Sheikh, this would be the perfect opportunity for GCC to take control and make the country that's the biggest in geography, in population, the leader of this alliance, of this bloc, and have friendly relationship with your neighbors, because this is
You're
one
forced to.
small block.
Yeah.
It's a big one small block, and everybody's on top of each other. So you just have to figure out a way to coexist
get along.
for as long as you can, right? As long as it's written by Allah to coexist, you have to figure out a way to do it, but become a little bit independent and also diversify the security, as we have discussed.
So essentially, we're all saying the same thing.
I've got some wild predictions even on top of this. If you want to take me down my rabbit hole, I can.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Sheikh.
Let's go.
But
we love your predictions.
No, but this is just me. Like I said, I am not an official source. Please go to the government for official sources.
We're just gamifying this.
It's just mental. No, you know what it is? It's smart to do this because it gets your brain
It gets
thinking.
you thinking.
Right? All right, so I don't think, with Allah's permission, inshallah, there's going to be a world war in the traditional sense, with the kind of weapons that we have today. Right?
It's not going to be like 1 and 2.
1 and 2. And I'll tell you why. 1 and 2, there were two sides. There were two sides.
Yeah.
Right? So World War One was Germany and Turkey and their allies against
Brits.
Western Europe and everyone else. World War Two was
Axis
the
of
Nazis.
evil.
Yeah.
I think Italy was with them
Mm-hmm.
against everyone else, right? The Soviet Union, the British Empire, French Empire, America, they all came together
Yeah.
because they posed a threat to them. So it was clearly defined: us versus them, right? Us versus
them.
The reason I don't think it can happen right now is because there are too many silo interests for there to be a clear us versus them on a global sense. There's too many players. Yeah. Like think about it, right? Think how messy the situation is. Pakistan has issues with India, but they have decent relationships with Iran. Iran is making good relationships with India. India
Has a good relationship with Afghanistan.
with good relationship with Afghanistan and strengthening their relationships even more with Israel.
Yes.
And by the way, it
Ajib.
just gets messier and messier and messier and messier. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just non-stop. So my point is, there's too many globalization.
A lot of entanglement.
Yeah. So globalization it brought about like people being interconnected commercially,
Entangled.
socially, also conflict-wise.
Yeah.
So really and truly, I don't see, at least in the short term, there being clear us versus them. It's going to be multiple. When there's multiple, it's not going to be a world war. May Allah protect us if anything like that ever happens. May Allah protect us. So ask Allah for afwa and afia. I mean, if something like that, I see it being a situation where there's
Very,
pockets.
very, very strong point, Sheikh.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Go ahead, finish it, Sheikh. Then I'll tell her.
So the second point on that is that, again, please take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. I just want to mention, because I hate those political pundit type of guys, and I know my place. I'm not one of them, but I'm just a student of the world, right? I'm a student of the world. I'm just trying to learn what's going on. I'm just thinking, and I don't want to rely upon Western media to help me define my understanding. So I'm doing this exercise because our whole thing is about second tier thinking, right? So look, the second thing is this: is that I don't believe the modern weapon systems are actually created to succeed in military conflict in the modern world.
What do you mean?
These modern weapon systems, when did this race to create these crazy weapons start? It started during the Cold War, and it was just a show of strength.
Yeah.
Right? You can pump your chest, I can pump my chest. You
I can land on the moon.
Yeah, I got. You could do this, I could do that. The fact of the matter is, Sheikh,
Another debate we don't want to go down. But anyway, let's get it.
look, at the end of the day,
I know where you're going with that.
at the end of the day, a sword will kill a man, yes or no?
Yes.
A blade through a man will end his life, right? How much does a blade cost? Not a lot of money, right? Okay, cool. Now, if I'm going to put money, I'm going to spend money in creating weapons that kill people, that are destructive, then I'm going to look at the weapon that kills the most amount of people in the most efficient, effective way, but also it's got to be the cheapest. What happens now when it costs you $4 million to make a missile
Which
Right.
takes 10 months.
which takes 10 months to produce, and Iran can make a $50,000 drone and make 100 of them in a very short amount of time and just deplete you.
Yeah.
It's I'm saying this concept of guerrilla warfare, which by the way was invented by Mohamed Ibn Abdurrahman al-Khattabi, Moroccan, right? Against is the only man after Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh who opened up a battle with 3 fronts, right?
Yeah.
And won. Anytime you open up more than 2 fronts on a battlefield, more than one front on a battlefield, you lose. This is the mistake that Hitler made. He opened up the front against Russia and he lost, right?
Yeah.
Abu Bakr radiallahu anh opened up Persia and Rome at the same time. Him, Amir Mohamed bin Abdurrahman al-Khattabi, rahmahullah ta'ala, opened up the front against Spain, Britain and France. Does that make sense? And he won multiple battles with them, and eventually he got backstabbed by the sellouts, right? The munafiqeen, they always exist. They sold him out and whatnot, and the fatwa that people cannot fight alongside him, and so on and so forth. Point being is that he invented guerrilla warfare. The Viet Cong came to him in Egypt and said, "Teach us the tactics." This guy's the modern pioneer of guerrilla warfare. So my point is that guerrilla warfare, it's painful. It requires blood. It takes a lot of time. It's not, forgive me for my French, sexy, but it's very effective. So again, the modern world is built for what? Modern weapon systems that are too expensive, right? That can be easily depleted through guys that are willing to give their life and buy a couple of drones. It requires a strong economy to keep pumping that stuff, which you guys don't have because it's about to implode, right? So again, coming back to my wild prediction, I think an event's going to have to take place in order for there to be a world war type of scenario, which la qaddar Allah, may Allah not make it happen, but it probably will happen. We have hadith and whatnot that indicate some things that happen in the future. It's going to be one where technology is taken away. Right? There are many things.
The one we spoke about yesterday.
Many things we
at
spoke
night.
about, right? What was it called? A coronary mass event, right?
Ejection.
Coronary mass ejection, barakallah feek, which is these
Couldn't
things.
stop thinking about it the whole day yesterday.
Right? It's crazy. Did you
I
look
swear,
it up?
because no, but like I kept thinking about it without looking it up. That really,
Yeah.
all the signs are there that we were just gonna end up back like,
Riding
was.
donkeys.
yeah, literally.
So I think we'll have a separate episode on this, but guys, just check it out. A coronary mass injection from the sun and what that does to the to electricity, right?
Electromagnetic field.
Prize it, brother. Sends you back to the Stone Age. And the Earth missed one. The Earth missed one by 9 days in 2012.
Yeah.
That's
right?
the argument, by the way, that a lot of people use
Sheikh.
in trying to come up with this theories that human civilization was a lot more advanced. That's why they were able before.
Yes.
That's what
Pyramids
they
and
were
You
able.
knew about this?
No, what is this?
Unexplainable.
Explain this to us.
The Pentagon
see?
right now, whilst all this drama is going on,
Yes.
they issued a tweet. So they gave a deal to the Pentagon. Did a deal with OpenAI, right, and with Anduril, $20 billion contract to Anduril to change the traditional weapons of war
Oh, really?
to the
Really?
point you were
As
going
you're
down.
saying it.
Okay.
As you're saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think another angle to this, Sheikh, what you just mentioned, where World War III, if and when, if it was to happen, would be different, is because narrative control is everything now.
Yeah.
And at that time, for a message to a telegraph to go from Russia to Germany to US, you're talking weeks and months. And that's why I think everything is so different now, Sheikh. Because everybody focuses on the PR. They have to, more than, because even your own people, they'll rile up against you if your PR is not right.
100%.
Can I?
Which
take-
was not a factor in those
100%.
days.
Can I take this point home?
Yes.
Also, sorry. Yeah. Can I take this point home? Is I read an analysis, an article that because of the changing of the circumstances and conditions, and especially now with the technology and generation gap between Gen Z and the previous generation, that's why Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel know that they've lost the next generation because of what happened in Gaza. They've lost them completely.
Yeah.
So no one is on their side. And
They're documented, yeah.
No, it's documented, and that's why he was pushing a lot to take over TikTok. So for him now, he realized that everything that he needs to do, he has to do it now in this generation. He has to go all the way because he knows for a fact that the next generation, no one's going to be on his side.
But is he alive?
Mic drop, bro. But to add to your point,
Very valid question, Sheikh. None of us have an answer to that.
to add to this point, Sheikh,
But I agree with you in principle. 100%.
Makes sense.
About the generation thing, another point on the generation, all the previous generation guys are a byproduct of Western education, US education, British education, everything there. This generation is being grown up on Israeli education, where you have to, half of the year, you're hiding in bunkers, remote education, this, that. It's not real education, Sheikh. They're not going to produce, quote unquote, like talented minds like how US did, and like, you understand what I'm saying, Sheikh? So because these guys that are running right now, they're educated elsewhere. But the next generation is not getting educated over there.
Yeah.
So what?
They're homegrown, and their homegrown environment is not good.
Okay. Yeah. PTSD, this, that.
Sheikh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of things are censored, but you can only imagine.
And even externally, like they lost more. Like since the Gaza event, you see a big shift of people that are generally considered conservative and staunch Israeli allies are now like just taking the other side completely. Tucker Carlson,
I was just saying
Megyn
that.
Kelly,
Bro, Tucker Carlson played a
Candace
huge role.
Owens. All of them, if you look at before, they were previous, like
Very staunch
they were
supporter.
staunch Israel supporters. They were conservative.
Piers Morgan, stop asking. What was the question he
Would you
saw?
condemn? Like,
would you condemn?
Do you condemn?
No. Is it
Moral quandary.
No. You say Israel's right to defend itself, but what's the?
Do you condemn the October 7th attack or something like that?
That's not the question. That's not the famous question you're thinking of. That was one.
No, that was the one I was thinking.
Was that the one? Okay,
that's the one I was thinking.
Cool.
Because the first thing you would ask
And
is,
he's changed that.
do you condemn? Because now it's on him. Do you condemn them killing 170 innocent schoolgirls? That should be the first question before you talk to any
And he's had some hot
senators.
takes recently against...
And I think if
He had Tucker on recently. It was very fun.
if you just entertain my analysis and my assumption of what I just said, maybe that's why if he's doing everything now, he's literally having
limited time. He has limited
Khala,
time.
he has a limited time, and he's doing everything now because he knows he does not have the chance later on. Like, he will not be able to put puppets in power as he's doing with Trump and the others in the next generation because he already lost them at Gaza. And
so he'll take in his mindset there'll be many inputs. That will be what you're saying is a very solid, weighted input that he'll factor in. But I think a greater one is a rabbi sitting somewhere telling him that maybe take that out. But religiously, they believe in the books more than us. And they presently getting ready for the end. We should certainly take this out.
You've
seen the stuff about the red havers and that, right?
Of course, Sheikh.
They're genuinely getting ready for that.
I mean, that's another scary part. I this one is...
But look, but I'll tell you one thing, right? So we asked the question at the beginning, right? Which was, why would he fall into this trap?
Exactly.
Right?
Like, why,
the fact of the matter is...
What's the end game?
But the fact of the matter is that we must ask these questions to the lenses of Allah's
Sunnah.
Allah says, وَمَكَرُوا مَكْرًا وَمَكَرْنَا مَكْرًا. They plotted a plan that was mighty, and I plotted a plan. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مُوهِنُ كَيْدِ الْكَافِرِينَ. Allah, He makes very weak, and He belittles and destroys the plotting of the enemies. Allah said, أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ. Did you not see what your Lord did to those who came with the elephants that destroyed the Kaaba? أَلَمْ يَجْعَلْ كَيْدَهُمْ فِي تَضْلِيلٍ. Did He not make their plan go misguided? My thing is, Wallahi.
That was a mighty plan of its
it's a
time.
mighty plan.
Arabs never saw elephants, bro.
And by the way, Allah said, وَإِن كَانَ مَكْرُهُمْ لِتَزُولْ مِنْهُ الْجِبَالِ. Their plots are so mighty. They're so big, it could move mountains.
Yeah.
Like, وَمَكَرُوا
Elephants.
وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرُوا اللَّهِ. They plot, they plan. Allah plans. Wallahu khairul makirin. So my point is that we are in a time right now. Honestly. Allah Azza wa Jalla is purifying the earth. Yeah, khair will come, inshallah. Khair will come.
It's uniting the hearts for sure, Sheikh.
Khair will come, and justice will be established, and oppression will go. But at the beginning, there's always, look, when you have an infection and you take antibiotics, it's worse.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Yeah.
Before it gets better. So this is just the proverbial farts, global farts. The digestive system is
readjusting.
It's readjusting.
Yeah.
It's just the winds. They're a bit smelly.
Yeah.
Very smelly. In the grand scheme of things, though.
All right.
We're gonna have some. We're gonna be swinging some oud, inshallah.
Yes,
I don't know this. Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic today. You catch me tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to him. I'm like, this guy is full of positivity now. He sounds a bit different than what I'm used to. Really, I don't know what changed, but I think it's no.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I think it's because when you think about it through Allah's lens,
yes,
it's a very different outlook. And I see your point. Actually, I agree with you.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying it might not get a bit more tough.
It might take time.
Yeah,
too.
but the thing is, this is why it's so important to have certainty in
Yaqeen.
Allah, yaqeen, and tawakkul. There's these two things, certainty and tawakkul. And
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard then when you're under the fire like this.
Yeah, it is. But that's why Allah gives you opportunities to train it, right? To train it, so that suddenly, when the heat goes up, you're there. May Allah not test us with our words. May Allah protect us.
Amin.
We ask for safety and security.
Amin.
Yeah, and prosperity in this life for the next. Amin.
Can I just so passionate about the 1.5 hour he spent with us, bro? Now you're saying rearrange.
Can I just say something? Yeah.
I think today was a great podcast.
I resent that we talk about politics. We don't talk about politics.
Why? I mean, we're not saying not to. We're just saying
no, but we don't. We're just talking about the world.
We're talking about the world, yes, but we take too long, Sheikh. I know we're guilty. You're not taking too long.
You're right.
Bro.
That conversation, there's an element of geopolitics, an element of economics, an element of
risk assessment,
right?
Risk assessment, yeah.
I am not a politician. I hate politics. I hate that. So I'm just putting it out there.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a politician. My parents used to hate me for it. Not hate. What's wrong with you? I shouldn't say politician, Sheikh. I used to see these people like wearing kurtas, rolled up sleeves, making decisions, Speaking, I was like, bro, these guys are cool,
I want
man.
to be like that. That's why he brought that kurta that day.
Then it got diverted to Italian mafia. Then alhamdulillah, Allah guided me to what I'm doing now.
What did you want to be as a kid?
No, I wanted to be in business, but
As a kid.
as a kid.
What about you?
pilot, actually, believe it.
Bro, it was pilot also for me.
But you know what
I
changed
think
my
because
mind?
of my dad.
Yeah.
You know what
My
changed
dad
my
was a
mind?
successful businessman.
Allah barak. Okay.
Wanted to be in business.
I watched the BS Egyptian movie where the plane crashed in a desert, and then they all died from sinking sand, and then it traumatized me, so I changed my mind.
Really?
Swear to God.
Subhanallah.
So I'll tell you what I wanted to be as a kid. I wanted to be a paleontologist.
What is that, Sheikh?
Basically, archaeologist, but for dinosaurs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like kid.
Yeah.
That sounds like something
Yeah.
you're going to be when you're a kid.
I was into dinosaurs, so I was like, I just want to dig dinosaur bones. Just want to, Then I wanted to become a Fed. A'udhu billah. I wanted to become a detective.
It's not too far from politicians. Sheikh.
No,
Come on,
no.
like, yeah, it's
want to be-
a part of the establishment,
I
man.
wanted to be detective, or I wanted to be Secret Service, something like that, And then my dad said to me, "Shut up, you fool."
That's what my
Yeah.
as
He
well.
said, "You're going to be a barrister."
Yeah.
What?
A barrister, yeah. So then my whole life was just set. Barrister, went to
Law.
uni, studied law. And then someone said to me, what do you want to be? I was like, I want to be a lawyer. He said, oh, you want to be a liar? I said,
Get paid for lying.
Yeah, I said, no, I'm done with this.
Wow.
But not all lawyers lie, you know this.
Yeah, of course.
We have lawyers in the cave as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Question, yeah? Your 7-year-old Mohammed.
Ada.
No, you when you were 7.
Oh, sorry.
7-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
7-year-old Mohammed. What would he say to you right now?
Deep. What would he say to me right now? Deep. Wow. That I think my 7-year-old would probably tell me to enjoy more like the time that I'm currently in and the company, and to worry less about the world and the unknowns, because I've suffered from this anxiety for a very long time. So I think that would be the one thing, because really because exactly at 7 years old and at that age is the time where I felt the least worried about being. It was just so carefree. Like I think it's the only time or the only age for a man where you would literally carefree. Because teenage start also stressing about different things, and then adulthood also different thing. So that sweet age between 7, between 6 up to like maybe 10, 12, just carefree.
Interesting. So do it. Make 7-year-old you happy.
You know how I need to start doing that is by really, really, really. You're actually 100% right. And my wife was telling me this is by increasing prayers and relying more on Allah. And letting go of the dunya things. And khalas, whatever.
Very nice.
Whatever happens is gonna happen. That's what I need to do. So I'm trying to double down more on that.
Allah, man. May Allah bless you. You're doing a good job from where we're looking.
Alhamdulillah.
I want to ask you guys this question, but unfortunately we run out of time, so maybe we'll pick up on the next episode, inshallah.
Another few episodes later.
Another few episodes.
I got saved.
Here's one I know I was going to say. Why didn't you become an alim? Why did you leave the madrasa? I'm joking. I'm joking. Guys, with that said, man, may Allah bless you, bro. Hopefully, may Allah protect you guys. I mean, we live in unknown and unknowable times, but that's where, as our brother Mohammed said, reliance upon Allah and certainty in Him,
The way to end it.
it pays dividends.
Big time.
Anyways, Habibi, come to Dubai. Assalamu alaikum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.